since there's no movies out in 2024 in February, I decided to go see Madam Web. It's a superhero movie. It's getting a ton of negative, really negative reviews, like the ratings are as low as Catwoman or Batman and Robin bad. And I'm like, is it really that bad? Yes, there's issues. Oh, there's a ton of issues. My problem was the miscasting of nearly everybody except for the Spider-Woman themselves. Ezekiel, there's another problem I have, is Ezekiel is supposed to be a supporting good guy, but for whatever reason in this universe, he's a bad guy, and that made no sense to me. And he would have been better playing as Miguel 99 Spider-Man, honestly. And the action is pretty decent. It does take a little bit for stuff to happen. I feel like the acting from Dakota Johnson was iffy at times. And I feel like the Spider-Women, the trio, were actually pretty decent. Some of the editing was weird. Sadly, you know, those really nice costumes for the Spider-Women, you only get like 1 minute of screen time of that in the entire movie, which is a real shame because those costumes are actually really good on screen. It feels very like the comic books, pretty much. Madam Web's character, I wish she was more likable. And like I said, some of the acting was iffy. And the guy who plays Uncle Ben, he's known for his comedic roles, so I really can't take him seriously. And both Madam Web's character and Uncle Ben are way too young, in my opinion. And it's set the year 2003. The Ezekiel is trying to find the 3 Spider-Women because that in the future they kill him, and he's trying to figure it out. And there's some somewhat iffy special effects at times, but it's not too terrible. I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible. It's not really all that good, but it's on the level of Morbius, and that's not really saying very positive things about that movie either. I mean, Morbius was but I feel like the action, when it did get to the action and the foreshadowing of the future parts were kind of cool. Also, I kind of felt like there was a little bit of Final Destination in there, in my opinion. I feel like the person who directed it could have directed a good horror movie, like a Final Destination movie, if they wanted to. But extremely miscast on most of the characters. It's a real shame because I wanted this movie to be good enough to have its sequel, and I wanted the people who was hating on the movie before it came out to be wrong. They're not completely wrong, but I feel like they were way too overcritical on this movie, and it's a real shame. Those costumes for the Spider-Women were really good, and we're probably never going to get a sequel, and the budget was only $80 million, which is kind of low for a superhero movie and in movies in general these days. And it probably will probably make 50, I'm assuming, or 100 million at the box office. I expect it to flop.